The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
This is one of our favorite times of the year at C-SPAN. It's the time when we get to announce the winners of our annual student documentary contest. It's called StudentCam. The 2014 theme for students who are interested in entering is what's the most important issue that Congress should consider in 2014. This year we received a record number of entries, 2,355 entries. They came from 46 states, from the District of Columbia, from Taiwan, and from the United Arab Emirates. Students all around the country and some internationally. Altogether, 4,816 middle and high school students participated this year, either individually or on teams. One of the things that was special about this year's contest is that we doubled the number of prizes and the amount of prize money. It went from a $50,000 contest to us giving away $100,000 in prizes. That meant $150 for student documentarians, 50 prizes for teachers, and there'll also be 97 students who receive honorable mention. The grand prize this year, $5,000 for the winning entry. There are now 3 first-place high school entries. They are divided regionally, and each one of those top winners in the regions will receive $3,000. And there's 1 first place at the middle school level, also receiving $3,000. One of the reasons we do this is to hear what's on the minds of young people, and the topics that students choose are a good way to measure what they're thinking about. Here's the list of the top categories, top issues we receive from students. Number 1, kids are thinking about the economy, and they told us about this in their message to Congress in their documentaries. Second was gun legislation. Third on the minds of students this year by the number of entries we received was education and education issues. The next in line were documentaries about the environment, and the next after that, immigration. So we're going to tell you about the grand prize winners this year. It was a team, and their topic was called Earth First, Fracking Second. It was a 3-person team from Long Beach Polytechnic High School in Long Beach, California. They are served by Charter Communications. And the 3 team members in that group, Emma Larson, Michaela Capps, and Sarah Heidachek. We're going to be talking by phone with one of the 3 members of the team, Emma Larson, right now. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Well, what was your reaction when you heard that your team won the grand prize this year?
We were absolutely shocked. We were all in a room, and we just looked across at one another, and we all could not believe it.
Well, when you finished the documentary, did you have a sense of how good it was?
No, we did not.
Tell me about how you got interested in the contest in the first place. Who introduced you to it?
Well, our 9th grade government teacher, Jeff Montooth. C-SPAN is actually a project that's required for all of his students to complete.
And how did your team come together? Were you able to pick who served on the teams, or did the teacher assign them?
Yes, we could pick our team members, and we chose other people that we have known for a few years, so we were comfortable with one another, and we knew that we worked well together. Well,
when you joined forces with Michaela and Sarah, had any of you done documentaries before?
No.
How did you learn how to do them?
We watched a lot of videos that C-SPAN provided about how to make the documentaries and tips about editing and things like that.
And how did you choose the topic?
We chose the topic by, in our government class, we have to complete these current events. And I read an article on the New York Times about fracking and was immediately interested. And then a couple weeks later, we saw in our local newspaper, the Press-Telegram, another article about fracking, and it said that it was happening 2 miles away from us. And that we thought that was crazy, and then once you start researching about it, it just becomes a fascinating topic.
Well, Long Beach has long had an oil industry because it's a big port, and there's also a lot of oil drilling. So you were surprised to find out that fracking was happening there as well?
Yeah, the thing about fracking is that it's unregulated, and so when there's no techniques, there's no water testing, could be really dangerous.
And is that the primary thing that you learned when you researched fracking?
Yes.
And what ultimately is the message that you would like to have Congress hear from the 3 of you as young people about fracking?
We want Congress to know that our country has a problem, and that problem is the regulation of hydraulic fracturing. We want them to keep in mind that fracking is great for our country. There's huge economic potential, but it has to be regulated. It has to be safe.
One of the things that's important with the StudentCam competition is to show both sides of the issue, and you referenced the fact that there's great economic benefit. So give the people listening today a sense of why the economic aspects of this are important, so that you feel that we have to get the regulation right.
Well, according to a research published, fracking will create 3.5 million jobs by 2020. That's a huge number. That can do great things for our country. We're in the middle of economic bad times, and I think that fracking and the oil industry could pull us out of that.
And who was the most interesting person you interviewed for the project?
Terry Greenwood. He's a farmer in Pennsylvania, and just his story about how fracking has affected his life and the people he knows, it was fascinating to talk to him.
How did you find a farmer in Pennsylvania when you live in California?
We researched people that were being affected by fracking, and his name kept coming up. He had done so many interviews and YouTube videos that he's an expert on the subject.
So what do you plan to do next with what you've learned, either from the videography part of it or from the fracking lessons?
Hopefully we can talk to the local city officials in our city and have them regulate the fracking that's happening about 2 miles away from our house.
Two last questions for you. What are you planning to do with the $5,000, and how did your school mark your win?
With the $5,000, we're putting that to a trip that the three of us will go on after we graduate from high school. And our school is recognizing us. They get the money to spend on video cameras for next year, and everyone's very excited, and we can tell that people are very proud of us.
Well, Emma, congratulations to you, to Michaela and to Sarah for your national grand prize win of StudentCam 2014. We're proud of you. We're actually proud of all the students who entered. We got some great entries this year, but it was terrific that your team was chosen as number one. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's tell you a little bit more about the other winners that were chosen. But before we do that, to give you a sense of what the grand prize was like in comparison to them, let's watch a clip.
Dear Congress.
Dear Congress.
Dear Congress. Hydraulic fracturing could be really important for the growth of our economy. But if you want the critical support of the American people, some things need to change. You need to investigate the impact of hydraulic fracturing on seismic activity and the use of recycled water instead of fresh water. You need to mandate testing of water near fracking sites, and you need to ensure the safe transportation of fracked oil and gas. Most importantly, the Halliburton loophole needs to be closed, and you need to require public disclosure of hydraulic fracturing fluids.
I have a farm, 60 acres with no water on. They don't care. They got their gas. They spill it. Well, it's all up of them. We're exempt. They should take the exemptions off the table.
Just a short glimpse of the StudentCam winning documentary this year, Earth First, Fracking Second, with a team of 9th graders from Long Beach, California. Well, as I mentioned, there are many, many winners across the United States. And again, this year we did 3 regional winners at the high school level. So I'll tell you more about who won the top prizes for high school. Beginning with the top prize in High School West, it's Diagnosing the Problem, and the winners there are Shelley Ortiz, Nina Nandine, and Hannah Hood, 12th grade, Metropolitan Arts Institute in Phoenix, Arizona, where they're served by Cox Communications. That's a topic on mental health diagnosis and treatment as their message to Congress. First prize winner in High School Central, We the People, Genetically Modified. Andrew Dameter is the winner there, 10th grade in Notre Dame Cathedral Latin High School in Chardon, Ohio. Time Warner Cable is their supplier. Next is first prize on High School East, Murky Future, and that's a team of 10th graders from Montgomery Blair High School in the Washington, D.C. area, actually Silver Spring, Maryland. They're served by Comcast. Their topic was water pollution. And the first prize, and there's only one of these at the middle school level, is on the NSA. That was done by a team of 8th graders from Eastern Middle School in Silver Spring, Maryland, also in the Washington, D.C. suburbs. They are customers of Comcast cable, and theirs, of course, was on the big debate in this country over government surveillance. We congratulate all the entrants to StudentCam. All the students worked very hard, and in our minds, all of them are winners. But those who actually claim the prizes are all available for you to see on our StudentCam website, www.studentcam.org.